If you've been cutting expenses but still don't have extra money, you might be missing a key step. Maybe you canceled your gym membership, you stopped buying coffee every morning, or worst of all, you had to downgrade your Hulu subscription to the one with ads, only to still come up short by the end of the month. I'm going to explain why that happens, and by the end you'll have a simple way to turn all those cut expenses into actual savings. And if you're new here, I'm Ian, and I help people learn from the mistakes that used to cost me a whole lot of time and money. Okay, so you've probably noticed that when talking about saving money, everyone likes to beat up on coffee, so I'm going to say Red Bull. Let's say you stop buying a $3 Red Bull every day, and that comes out to $21 a week. So you cut it out and you're thinking, cool, now I'm saving 84 bucks a month. I can do a lot with that. But by the end of the month, that $84 is nowhere to be seen, and you start thinking, how is this possible? I gave it up every day for a month. Now I'm not caffeinated and I want to choke out my coworkers. And in return, I still have the same amount of money. And it's really frustrating, but that's just one example, because maybe some of the cuts that you're trying to make aren't from frivolous impulse buys. Maybe you're being faced with the choice between cutting 2 or 3 things that are really important to you just so that you can have some extra money. It might not be something as silly as coffee, but choosing between buying a new pair of work boots or paying this credit card bill. And in cases like these, when you go through your bank statements and look for things to cut, you expect to see results. Otherwise, it feels like you sacrificed for absolutely nothing. But here's where a lot of people get tripped up. If you cut back and don't tell your money exactly where to go, it's always going to find a place to go on its own. And I guarantee it's never going to pick your retirement account or little Timmy's college fund. We'll usually end up spending it on Amazon purchases, or you go to the gas station and end up walking out with a snack. Or you've had a really long day and you order takeout when you don't feel like cooking. Before you know it, all of those savings are long gone. So here's what I recommend instead. If you cut something out and say it's $20 a week, tell yourself, cool, now that 20 bucks is going somewhere very specific. It doesn't matter where, just give it a purpose. It can be for something fun, responsible. It can be totally boring, maybe something you've been wanting. Just pick it and decide now that the money from the things that you cut out are now going to be redirected toward that goal. But here's where we can dial it up just a little bit further and take it another step with a really simple trick that makes all the difference. It's something that really stuck with me after reading the book, The Automatic Millionaire, which I promise is, despite the title, is not a get-rich-quick type of book. Really, the whole premise of it is financial automation. It's about setting up all of your finances, from retirement contributions, savings, and all your other bills, so that they run on autopilot and get paid automatically. And that applies, in this case, all the same. Because here's the key. If we have to make a choice every month to take all those extra savings and put them somewhere, the odds are we're going to say, screw this, and we're going to burn out. But when it's automatic, it's done before you can even talk yourself out of it, or before you accidentally spend that extra money. And it really does work. Let me prove it to you. Back during the Second World War, the US government wanted people to give money to help the war effort, so they sold war bonds.
And there is only one slogan in this city today: buy bonds until victory is won.
And these are like an IOU to the public, so one bond might cost $18, but after 10 years they would be worth $25, so a little extra incentive to buy them. But the government didn't want to depend on people making that decision every paycheck, because they knew maybe one week they would feel like giving and the next week not so much. So they took the decision making completely out of it and made the purchase of war bonds an automated payroll deduction before people even got their checks. It was gone before they could notice it. And that's the concept that's going to help you keep your money going exactly where you want it and on time. By the way, if you're getting value out of this, I would love you forever if you could hit the like button and drop a comment letting me know what you've been saving for. So what you can do is give this a trial run with something small like that Red Bull or coffee, And that way you can actually see it working in real time for very little cost. Then you can consider increasing it. So let's say later on you do a full audit of your whole bank account and you cancel a few streaming services. Maybe you stop buying breakfast every morning, you pack your lunch instead of eating out, wherever, in your personal case where you can find places to cut money. All of a sudden, maybe you're saving $400 a month and you don't want to waste that. That could be the cost of an international plane ticket. Don't lie, you wouldn't have believed me without this screenshot. You could take that $400 and assign every dollar before the month even starts. Maybe it could look something like this: $100 to your 401k, $80 to your emergency fund, $120 to your vacation fund, $50 towards that guitar you've been wanting, and $50 to pay off a debt. And if that sounds like a pain, I promise you it's not. Most banks will let you create multiple savings accounts for free, and you can even name them, whatever applies to you. My European vacation trip fund savings account, whatever works for you. Then with the magic of automation, you don't have to rely on willpower to manually move that money around or have to remember to do it. The system is going to do it for you. I spent many years having barely any money to my name, and it was taking small steps like these that really helped me feel like I was finally getting somewhere. Because without giving your money a home, it's going to disappear into random purchases that you're not going to remember 2 weeks from now. You don't need to make 6 figures. Just tell your money where to go instead of asking yourself later on where it went. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to check out another one of mine right over here, and I'll see you over there. Thanks for watching.